Today discussion is about how many types of selectors are there and how can we use all the selectors in CSS we will discuss. And followed by how can we apply styles like a box style, right? And different types of styles, grid and all I'll explain. Flex, grid, box and all we'll see. Here it is, different types of selectors. Here it is. I'm just adding some title also. So one by one, I'll explain first. First one is here. I'm just writing one simple heading. Suppose H4 is a heading. Next one, I'm just giving it's a paragraph. Heading and paragraph I'm giving. Two I have given. Two. First selector, I'm giving that star. Star means is actually called universal selector. Universal selector we can call. It is star actually. Sir, how can we apply star? Normally, for paragraph P, we are applying like this now. Now, instead of that, simply we use a star. This is what we called universal selector. And simple message we are giving. Simple thing. Is anything we are giving that. For example, color is a blue color. Color is a blue color. Suppose. Simply I'm applying. Simply I'm applying. Like this. Okay. And here it is, suppose is a background color. I'm just giving that yellow, the yellow green. I'm giving like this. See here, sir, why it is applicable for all is applicable for body. Everything it is applied. Everything is applied. That is, sir, for example, here instead of that, for this one, you can give that box sizing and all now. So now you will not understand. Simply like this. Universal selector means what? How many elements are there in the web page? So the body and everything to all elements that universal selector is applied is the first one. Second one is we know already. We can call it as a type selector, or we can also call it as a element selector also. Sometimes we can, but mostly we call type selector. Type means we specify clearly. Only for paragraph, it's a blue color. Suppose is the heading. Suppose is a red color like this. These things already we know from the day one we are discussing, but only the names we don't know. Only the names. So these type of selectors means what? Selecting a particular element so that you can apply CSS. That is what selection of elements. This is actually called type selector, or we can also call it as a element selector. Element selector. Okay. Next one. First one is a universal selector. Second one is a type selector. Third one, this one is also we know it's a class selector. Class. To the particular classes only we can apply. But this class you can write anywhere. For example, here is a H3. Is a H3 heading we are writing. H3 is a multiple paragraphs we are writing. Multiple paragraphs we are writing. Two paragraphs we are writing. Here, here I'm writing like this, class. Any class name, suppose is a highlight. One class we are taking. Highlight one class. Simple one, some background color. Background color we are giving. Just font, anything, font size, font weight, something. Font weight we are giving directly bold and bold, italic, underlined and all. Underlined and all we are taking. Background color is there, na? So understand more clearly. Padding I am giving. Padding. When you are saving, see, it is not applicable to anything. Is not applicable to anything. Is a one. See, now this here where you will apply that class highlight. If you apply here, is applicable here. Sir, I want to apply here also. Here also, it will be applied. Look at this. So, where you are using that class to multiple elements you can, and to the particular elements. Where you specify that class, so there only we are applying that class selector. Okay. Now, the next one is in the last class, someone asked the question, the difference between ID selector and class selector is a ID selector and class selector. ID, we are representing is the same only. We are taking like this. We are taking like this paragraph. Paragraph. How you are representing ID means what? Using hash. ID means unique. Just I'm giving the name is a unique. Nothing but is a single. Just to say single. We need to apply ID selector to single element only. ID selector to single element only. Here, ID equals to, suppose you are giving that unique. Sir, is applied na? Is applied. Next one is, sir, I'm giving unique here also. Sir, applied na? What you said, that ID you can apply only to a particular element, to unique element only. But sir, actually here we are applying na. It is applicable. But rule is what? We should always give to a single element only. So when you will understand ID particularly, when we are working with the JavaScript also. With the JavaScript, we are getting the elements using their IDs. By IDs, whenever you are modifying the value, that will be applied to the first element only, which is with the unique. Here it is a CSS means to all applicable. But with the JavaScript only, you will understand. There I'll explain once again. But today also I'll show you the difference. One more difference. Unique means what? Only one ID you need to apply. Multiple IDs you cannot apply. That we will see. Class means what? You are representing with a dot. ID selector means what? You need to represent with a hash. Here you need to use ID and class. But differences I'll show you. Today also, one difference I'll show you. Then with the JavaScript, one more difference I'll show you. Don't worry. This is what, like ID selector, how can we apply? Okay. That next one is a group selector. Next one is a group. Universal selector is there and is a group selector is there. Sir, what is that group selector? Here, paragraphs are there. Paragraphs are there. H1, H3, H4. or H4 is a heading. When we are applying, sir, multiple headings are there, but for multiple headings, right? I need to apply the same CSS only, just with the comma separator. Not all items. Universal selector means what? To all items it is applicable. But here it is a group selector means what? Only to particular set of items it is applicable. Particular set of elements it is applicable. Okay. For example, here it is. Sir, I'm just giving the text align is a center. Color is a different color, like a purple I am taking. Suppose. Look at this. Either it is H3 heading or H4 heading. If you write a comma paragraph, it is applicable to paragraphs also. It is applicable to paragraphs also. So this is what a group selector. This is what? Group selector. Group selector, ID selector, class selector, type or element selector, universal selector. These are the things we discussed. These are generally we use, generally. But in some of the cases, one more type of selector also we will use. Let me explain. This is actually called attribute selector, but rarely. Sir, when you use means what? Whenever we are designing the forms, login form, right? Those forms, whenever we are designing, suppose I'm just giving one H1, what is a H3? H3. Suppose directly I'm giving that attribute select. Here, forms means input time, right? Input type equal to text. Input type equal to text. Placeholder I'm writing. Just to give name, username. Simply I'm writing like this. Next, one more input box I'm writing. Input type equal to, suppose is a password field. Placeholder like a give password. I'm just giving simply like this. I'm giving simply like this. Okay, is a one. See, just giving that attribute selector, give name and give password. See, what is attribute? Here it is a type is an attribute. And this is a attribute value. Attribute value. So now the complete thing we are giving for everything. See, how can we write in the style? This is important. Mostly you will see whenever you are working with the login form, registration form creation, you will see this type of thing. What is a type? It's an input type. Input. Here it is suppose type is equal to text. Type equal to text. Only for text, only it is applicable. Only type equal to text. I just want to give like a border I'm giving. Border color. So 2 pixel. Solid blue color I'm giving. Solid blue. Some padding also I'll add. Just like a 5 pixel padding I'm adding. Now see. Observe this. It is applicable only for this one. Is applicable only for this one. It is not applicable to this one. Okay. This is actually called attribute selector. Is called what? Attribute selector. This is the one. We'll see in a login form or registration form whenever we are creating in a home page creation with all these things we will apply. So by that time, I'll just tell you whenever I'm using. So here I'm using universal selector. Here I'm using ID selector. Here I'm using class selector. Here I'm using element selector. Here I'm using attribute selector. Like this, each thing I'll explain once again. Okay, now here it is. One more thing. This one we already know. Like where we have seen, like in our creation of a button, I will be create. Yes, button. I'm just giving that button is a click me button. That's it. And this is actually called pseudo selector. Pseudo class, we can call it as pseudo class selector, we can call. So what is this pseudo class selector? What is this pseudo class? By default, button is showing now. You know that button, colon, all these are comes under pseudocode selectors. Over. When you place the cursor on that, then please change the background color to like a blue color. Text color I'm just making to white like this. Here, these type of things. See, look at this. It is become like this. This is actually called pseudo class selector. Called what? Pseudo class selector. That is. Next one is another one, we can call it as a descendant selector. We call it as a descendant selector. I'll write all these things at one place so that you can practice. It's easy. This descendant selectors also we have seen already. What is that? Suppose I'm taking one div. Inside that div, I'm writing one paragraph. Paragraph inside div. Okay. Now I'm writing that paragraph outside div I'm writing, suppose. Okay. Now suppose if I'm giving this P, I'm just giving that color. I'm just changing that color is a red. When you are writing, look at this paragraph inside the div and paragraph outside the div. When you just give P, that P is applicable for everywhere. Now this is descendant div space P, nothing but the paragraphs which are belongs to that div only apply. Look at this now. Paragraph inside the div is appear with the red color and outside is a normal without anything. That is styling inside another element. Particularly, it will apply the styles to the elements which are inside the specific parent. That is actually called a descendant. Okay. Next one that already you know that we can call it as the nth child, first child, last child. So many are there. Nth child, first child, last child, like this. We have already seen. Suppose here paragraph first, second, third are there. First, second, third, fourth, like this we are taking. Now in this one, P, we are taking like this nth child, That is a 2 you can give. 2. Only for that 2 only I'm applying that red. Look at this. No, sir, I want to give even. To that even child. right? Like this also we can apply. Like this also we can apply. Now here, I just want to give what is the difference between here in CSS actually, in the simple difference I'll explain between a ID selector and CSS, I mean class selector. Here, I'm just taking anything we are giving, like is a P, it is paragraph text, just giving one message. Here, multiple styles I am writing. No title. Multiple styles I am writing. Red, red. It's a color is a red. Okay. Next one is a bold I am writing. Inside that, whoever is taking this, automatically their font weight become bold. Is a bold. Only two I am writing. Suppose two. Now here, if you make it a class, we can apply red space bold. Look at this. Red space bold. We applied both, na? Nothing but you can provide multiple class selectors to the single item by using the spaces. By using the spaces. Suppose just I'm changing to hash and hash. Hash and hash. Hash and hash means this one you can apply with ID na. Now look at this. Sir, I'm applying only red. I'm applying only red. See, applied. Sir, I'm applying only bold. Apply. Applied. But sir, at a time both. No, not applied. Both will fail. Both will fail. Sir, here it is anything. Sir, one is a ID. Sir, one is a ID. Next one is a class. Next one is a class. Suppose this is a class selector. Yes, you can apply. Now both applied. Now both applied. Sir, classes, multiple classes. Multiple classes. For example, is a underline. Or for example, is a yellow back. I'm writing like this. Is a background color. Is a yellow. Sir, I'm applying here. It is yellow back also. Look at this. ID selector is only one ID selector you have to apply. Any number of class selectors you can apply to the single element. Single element. But according to rule is what? In HTML, you can apply ID to multiple elements also. But when you are applying dynamically using JavaScript, it is applicable to first ID. That now you cannot understand. So later it is easy to understand. Okay. Easy to understand. That is a simple way we are writing. So whenever we are learning the things, just selectors are used to select elements to apply CSS. To apply CSS. First one is a universal select. First one is a universal selector. Second one, we can call it as a type or element selector. Third one is a class selector. Class selector is a fourth one is a ID selector. ID selector. Fifth one, we can call it as with the comma separator, we have to write a group selector. Next one is a attribute selector. Attribute means what? Mostly we are working with the forms. psudo, pseudo class we can call it as actually. And next one is a like a nth child class selector also. Next one is a descendant selector also. We can call it as descendant selector. Sir, only these are any other means what? I think other selectors also there, but not mainly used. In rare cases they use. All these type of selectors we are using in CSS is a one. Okay. So based on this one, we are applying selectors to all the CSS. That is.